Hello and welcome. Today we'll be discussing operators. As always, at this point, I'm assuming you've watched all the videos up to this point that these concepts were built on top of. So what are operators? An operator is a symbol that tells the compiler to perform some specific mathematical or logical manipulator. There are several different types of operators. They are arithmetic operators, relational operators, logical operators, bitwise operators, assignment operators, and then for the ones we don't have categories for, we've added in miscellaneous operators. We'll be discussing bitwise and assignment operators in another session. So let's talk about the arithmetic operators. The first and simplest is the plus sign, which adds two variables or numbers together. Similarly, the negative sign subtracts two variables or numbers together. The asterisk is for multiplication. The slash is for division. Now, one you may not be familiar with is the percent sign or modulus. This will return the remainder of two integers that have been divided by each other. Two plus signs together is an incrementer, or in this case, if you're looking at A, and that would be 10, it would then increment to 11. Same thing with the decrement operator. Two negative signs in front of A would turn 10 into 9. Let's talk a little bit about the relational operators. These will become a lot more relevant when we start discussing control statements. The first one, the two equal signs, checks to see if two variables are equal to each other. Now the opposite, with the exclamation mark and the equal sign, that's saying that A is not equal to B, and this would return true if that were the case. The arrow sign pointing to the right shows that A is greater than B, and again the opposite, the arrow pointing to the left, is A is less than B. And then with the arrow sign and equals, it's the same as what you saw before, but they're either greater than or less than and equal to. Next are the logical operators. These are used specifically to create either compound or more complex statements. The two ampersands mean that the first condition and then the second condition must be true in order to produce a result. The next one, the two lines, is the OR operator. That, again, is saying that one or the other could be true, and it would produce a true result. And then the exclamation mark is simply negating whatever expression is stated in the parenthesis, or the not operator. Now, finally, let's talk about some of the miscellaneous operators. Now, these don't fit into any specific category, but they're still important for you to know. The first one, the size of, returns the size of the specific data type. In this case, if the size of int would return 4. Now, the next one is type of, which returns the type of a specific class. The next one, the single ampersand, returns the actual address of the variable. Now what this means is that it's not going to actually return the value of that variable, but rather where it is actually stored. The next one after that is an asterisk. This is a pointer to the variable. Now this is different because it will actually return the value of that specific variable. We'll be talking about pointers in more depth in a subsequent session. The final operator is is. This determines what type a specific object is. So now that we've discussed the concepts, let's see the code. First, I've declared a few ints. I have a equals 5, b equals 10, an int of c, which in this case will be the result of each of our equations, and then d equals 7. From here, I added in a statement that will make these equations more relevant to the end user by listing out the specific variables. And then here we have each one of our equations that demonstrate each of the operators that were discussed. Here is addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulus, example of incrementing, and an example of decrementing. Now that we've seen the code, let's see how this application runs. Here you see the variables that we listed out in the declaration. Example of addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulus, incrementing a by 1, which would be 6, and decrementing b by 1, which would be 9. Thank you again for watching this video. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, please like this video, leave comments for improving the video content, or provide feedback for content you'd like to see in the future. And please, don't forget to subscribe to my channel.